What's up, guys? I'm LQ. This is the LQ Review. Thank you so much for joining me here on my YouTube channel. This is where I talk about all the geeky, nerdy stuff that I love to talk about: movies, video games, comic books, TV shows. If it's geeky, if it's nerdy, I love to talk about it right here. And right now, I want to give you guys my thoughts on The Boys Season 2, Episodes 1 through 3. And if you remember, I loved The Boys Season 1. I thought it was one of the best shows on TV last year. I literally adored it. That and Cobra Kai and Stranger Things 3, that was like my trifecta. The perfect three. I mean, there was a lot of good shows last year. The Witcher was great, but guys, The Boys was up there at the top. Up there at the top, that one or two spot. And I just loved the way that it kind of deconstructed superheroes, while at the same time telling a very relevant and modern superhero story. And that was fun to watch. And I've read the Boys comics, and it stays close enough to source material to be, to be a clear adaptation of the Boys comic, but it also strays far enough away from the source material that, I think that the source material is a little too graphic. That they could have never adapted a direct adaptation from the source material to the TV. They just could have never done it. I mean, it would have had to have been rated X. It was really, really graphic material. And I think that's why it's never caught on, Even hardcore comic book fans like me, The Boys isn't exactly something that I read. I've read several comics of The Boys, but that was more education. When I found out season one was coming out, I went out, got some of the books, read some of them, and I just they never really clicked with me. Because for me, it was just the content was a little bit too over the top. In terms of graphic content, but also in terms of just the cynicism of The Boys. It was a lot of cynicism in the show. Just a very dark outlook on humanity and mankind and superheroes in general. So it didn't click with me, but the TV show really clicked with me a lot. I really found it to be something that was special. So season 1 was great. It ended on a bit of a cliffhanger. What did I think of season 2, the first 3 episodes? Well, I was disappointed that we didn't get right into what happened between Homelander and Butcher. I was legitimately disappointed by that. I wanted to pick up right at that house and figure out exactly what happened. For me, it took a little bit too long to get going. I wanted that was the cliffhanger. That was the questions I wanted answered right away, and they didn't. Now, they eventually started answering some of those questions as part of a mystery that's going to be unraveling a little bit throughout the show. But I wanted some more information right up front on what happened to Butcher. And unfortunately, like I said, we just didn't get that. But Homelander is still this very twisted, dark version of Superman that I think a lot of people hate, but they root for. It's like you hate to love him, or you love to hate him. That's it. You love to hate him. You hate the dude, but you love it. You just love watching this guy and hating what you see. He's a bad person. He is just a corrupt, very corruptible, a racist individual, just bigoted in almost every way that you could possibly imagine. But there's also endearing attributes about him as well. As weird and as twisted as that may be, there are endearing attributes about him. And there's nothing endearing about those traits. So they're really walking this line right now with Homelander, where you enjoy watching him on screen. He's an entertaining character, and there's some endearing stuff about him, but he's this despicable, horrible person. Literally, his outlook on people who aren't like him, and his outlook on humanity in general, is just the downright lowest of the despicable that you can find on the planet. And I don't know how they struck that balance, but somehow they did. And at one point, I feel like he almost took it too far because there was a disabled superhero. He was basically a riff on Daredevil. He was blind, but what he hears made him be able to see things. And Homelander did not take kindly to him potentially being brought into the Seven because Homelander did not want any disabled people in the Seven. I mean, that's the kind of... And, his response to that was very... I don't know if it's controversial because it's Homelander, but it was very gross. It was very gross and shocking. And that's what I'm saying with Homelander, is that they keep pushing it right up to that line, and eventually I'm afraid they're going to go over it. Because right now he's clearly a bad guy, he's clearly an antagonist, he's clearly the villain of the show, but at the same time we like to watch him. So I don't really know exactly how to reconcile that, because he's despicable, but I don't know. Let's keep watching season 2 and see if we continue to feel that way about Homelander. Stormwatch. Stormwatch is the new character, the new member of the Seven, and I'm going to be anxious to see how her and Homelander kind of play off of each other, because she is downright evil as well. Downright evil. And it kind of took me by surprise. When they were building up her character a little bit, I was thinking to myself, this is going to be an antagonist to the Seven. This is going to be somebody who is clearly against Vought, but is also going to be against the Seven. But nah. She's Team Homelander. And I can't say she's Team Homelander, but she's Team corrupt, bad superheroes. We're going to do bad stuff and kill lots of people. So Stormwatch is a character that I would definitely want to pay more attention to as it goes on. She's somebody that clearly is pushing the girl power. They push the girl power a lot. And I think it was either episode 2 or episode 3 where they're pushing the girl power. There's 3 members of the Seven now. Starlight, Maeve, and Stormwatch. And just the idea of Stormwatch being this girl power icon, and yet being somebody who is going to be eminently unlikable. Be interesting to see how they balance that. Let's see here. What else as far as the boys so far? Well, we got to talk about the boys a little bit. Huey, love Huey, and I love the way that they kind of took the relationship between him and Starlight early on. It's a different relationship than it was last season. Obviously, the way that the last season ended, things are going to be differently, but their relationship is in a different place now, and the way that each one of them are responding to that relationship is, I think, realistic and authentic. So I like that. I liked the way that they kind of broke down celebrity with Starlight. They kind of showed what steps can be taken to make a celebrity look not like themselves anymore. I mean, they really showed Starlight going from her real persona to Starlight, and that was a pretty interesting segment to watch. A-Train definitely has a interesting development so far. He's kind of got himself back into a corner with Starlight, and I like to see this arrogant, cocky individual really kind of ran himself into a corner at the end of the last season and into this season. And it'll be interesting to see if he tries to fight his way out of that. The character I don't like is the Deep. I get it. They're playing on the ridiculousness of the Aquaman character. I get it. Whatever. The character of the Deep just takes me out of the show. The whole idea of his body talking to him, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, and it really is. I don't know. I'm not enjoying this character so far. The whole "woe is me, I'm in Sandusky, Ohio," which, by the way, isn't that far from where I live, so that's cool. "Woe is me, I'm in Sandusky. This sucks. I'm gonna be sad." I just don't get that. Just don't get that. It's just. I'm not a fan of the character, so that's probably why I'm coming down hard on him. What's the Archer's name? Eagle Eye or something like that. Definitely a take on Hawkeye. be cool to see where this character goes. You know, every comic book universe has a Archer. You know, DC has Green Arrow, Marvel has Hawkeye, and now this universe has I think it's Eagle Eye or Eagle. I think it's Eagle Eye. But guys, so overall, I can't really. It's too early to say whether or not this season is better or worse than the last season. We're only 3 episodes in. We're just now establishing the major plot lines. Butcher and what he has to accomplish as a result of the end of season 1. That's one of the main storylines. Huey and Starlight's relationship is another one. Obviously, Homelander, Stormwatch coming into the 7, the Deep and his storyline, which whatever. There's a lot happening right now, so they're just now establishing these things, and they're just now getting into place. And really, it looks like a lot of this is going to be about Vought, the organization, the business of Vought, and where that organization as a pharmaceutical company is going to go from here. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff happening. There's a lot of balls in the air, and you know, I think there's 8 episodes, so we'll see if they're able to close it all out, or at least close out this arc. Close out this arc effectively and in a satisfying way before the end of episode 8, because we know season 3 has already been greenlit, so they're not going to end it. But the season 2 arc, it would be nice to see it end in a satisfying way, and it looks like they might have their job ahead of them, because they got a lot of balls in the air right now. But overall, I really enjoyed the first 3 episodes. Didn't really care for the stuff with the Deep, but everything else was fantastic. So what did you think of the first 3 episodes of The Boys Season 2? Let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear your take on it. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. And as always, thank you so much for joining me here at the LQ Review, where we get to talk about all the geeky, nerdy stuff we love to talk about. Until next time, we'll see you guys later.